What is up? What is up? Ask me anything. It could be related to fitness. It could be related fitness. It could be about how to get stronger, regarding a specific lift technique. Um, it could be related to how to gain muscle for a specific muscle group. If you have a lagging muscle group that's just not progressing in the way it looks, if you have a muscle group or an exercise that's just not progressing in how much you're lifting, uh, plateaus, any of that stuff, you can ask me on here, or you can ask me anything not related to fitness. It could be about MMA. I like watching MMA. It could be about video games. I like playing video games. It could be about pretty much anything. If it's something that I don't follow or I don't know, I'll let you know. And if it's too weird of a question, I'll probably either just skip it or, yeah, or I just will tell you I'm not going to answer it. But yep, so you guys can ask me anything. Um, I actually just watched a video MMA wise. Apparently Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman just got into an argument. I don't know where or when, but I'm actually really glad because yeah, I want Kamaru Usman to get absolutely destroyed. I don't like him at all. Yeah, but apparently I don't know where they met. Oh, no wonder it was. They got into a heated argument, and Usman just kept saying, "Do something, do something, do something." And that's what I was telling him. I ain't gonna do something. Hey, Gabe. Again, I don't really. I'm not. One. What's up, man? How's your day going? Too. I again, as even though I know a lot, I don't know everything. One app or person is you should check out the Athlean X Core app. I don't think anyone does core better than Athlean X. Again, I like I said, I always say this because I don't agree with every channel on everything, and some people regard his channel as like the end all be all for everything. I do have disagreements with him, but Athlean X by far has the best core workouts. I don't think anybody can even come close to his core workouts, at least in my opinion. Yeah, so I would check his core. It's an app. It's called I forgot what it's called. I actually use it for my core workouts. It's called Six Pack Promise. It's in the App Store. It's only $3. It's not too in depth in regards to progression. There's no progression system. I mean, they have like beginner, intermediate, like that progression, but they don't have like it's just all it is from what I noticed, it's just slightly harder exercises and less rest time. That's pretty much the only thing that changes. But like, and it is just randomized. But again, for something simple and for the price, you can't beat it. So it's only $3. If you can maybe convince your parents to let you get it for $3. Again, like I said, it's just core. It's not a total body program. It's not. It's not going to be an end all be all. But for just core, I recommend doing it. It's amazing. Really good. A really good app. I like it. It's what I use for my core. I could make up my own core, but I just honestly, it feels like it would be. How do I say? It feels like I would end up in the same spot anyways because I agree with him completely on his core workouts. This is still good. Now I don't do his main workouts because again I want to train specifically for strength and hypertrophy, but um I do think he does certain things not optimal, rest periods and things like that. But I mean, if you want to be athletic, his programs are amazing. How's your day been, Gabe? What's up? Oh yeah, I need to put a poll up too. Let me see. Oh, I wanna see that. Ooh. They have a reaction of Kamaru Usman and about what he says. The Gabe said, "Okay, I actually just tried an athlete exercise and I flipped, and I'm just frustrated. Oh, and I just flopped, and I'm frustrated." Okay, that's one other criticism I will have about the app is when I went to the beginner section, I thought the beginner section was gonna have a lot easier exercises. The beginner exercises are not really beginner exercises. I don't care what he says; those are not beginner exercises. They're kind of hard. Um, I think beginners need to start way lower than what he has on there. Um, yeah, you kind of have to have a general. Yeah, maybe I'll come out. Yeah, maybe that'll be one of my next videos. I'll come out with a beginner for workout just for beginners. Okay. Gabe said it's fine. Like you said, it's not your thing. I'll just find something else. It's not really that it's not my thing. Core workouts are simple. Like you have your rectus abdominis, which is your six pack abs. Um, that's going to be mainly spinal flexion. So anything that challenges spinal flexion. Then you have your obliques, which do the same thing just at an angle. So you're basically just flexing at an angle. And then you have like stabilization or compression of your abs, which is mainly due to your transverse abdominis. It's like your internal weight belt. It's basically meant for your core to like cinch down um, or like get tight. Uh, it'd be basically what you do during a plank. You get tight. What else? Uh, yeah, and then you just do those concepts. You do those concepts from different angles. You could do them like Athlete X. Again, this is what I meant. Athlete X kind of covers this. Is you go from the bottom up, or you can go top down. So you can do like bottom up would be like leg lifts. You can do straight forward like just regular leg lifts, or you can do them at an angle. Um, and then you can do them from the top down. So like a crunch or like a cross crunch or bicycles, those types of things. Um, and then also again you'd have like some form of rotation in there, and then you'd have just overall stabilization, something like a cliffhanger plank or something, but so it's not that I couldn't do that. It feels like with core, it feels like I'd be rehashing the same shit that everyone else has. um yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. Why is it making you frustrated or what? What's wrong, man? Maybe I'll just ask that later. Yeah, but that Jorge Masvidal, that's getting hectic, bro. What up? Whoever's coming in, say hi. All you lurkers. Damn. I will baptize Kamaru Usman. That's what he's saying. Woo! I gotta check that out. I guess I need to ask that. I'm gonna put that poll up right now. For those of you watching the stream or you're watching it after, I'm going to put up a poll on my YouTube channel asking no problem, man. See ya. Have a good day, man. Hopefully it's going better. Thanks for stopping by. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, anything fitness related, MMA related, so that I got 3 viewers, someone's lurking, you can ask a question. I'm putting up a poll on my channel right now about streams, so there you go. What is up, you guys? For those of you, like I said, who follow MMA, we got a little bit of drama going on here. It's pretty fun. Let me see if I can turn on the captions. Yeah, Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman got into a little altercation, and then ESPN MMA, you can check out their channel. ESPN MMA did a little interview with each of them after the altercation to see what they have to say about it. So, no captions. What the fuck? I just won't turn it that loud. They need to fight. They need to fight. Okay, so they're just asking about so far. Okay, there you go. Now he's talking about Usman. You guys have any questions, comments? Let me know. What's up? How you doing? You lurker. I'm just listening to the Jorge Masvidal interview they're doing on ESPN MMA right now. Again, this is a Q&A. You can ask me about anything, MMA, fitness, about myself. If the question's too weird, I'll probably just ignore it. You always get those trolls, but it's all right. Kenneth Nielsen asks, what is your take on good mornings and hip thrusts to gain strength in the deadlift and squat? I mean, you got to look at the pattern. I mean, you're just getting. I think that with the deadlift, you're getting a lot of back involved in the sense of stabilization and like an isometric contraction. So I think in that sense you can't truly overload the glutes like too much. Um, well, the glutes do work a lot in the deadlift. Again, I think that you always have to take into account that the back is also working extremely hard. Um, and and it's not even so much good mornings because I think hip thrusts are much better than good mornings. So good mornings would also fall under the same criticism that I just gave to deadlifts. But I think that like specifically the hip thrust, I think it's a great exercise to overload the glutes without having that other baggage attached to it in regards to like your back and then deadlift. And and specifically for a squat, while I think squat does activate your glutes a lot, the squat is, in my opinion, a very overrated glute exercise. Again, it's great for the glutes, but I don't think that if you're mainly trying to do work on the glutes, you should like if it's glutes specifically you're trying to focus on and get better. I don't think that you should uh, I don't think that you should prioritize squats extremely high. Yes, you should definitely do them, but I think that mule kicks and hip thrusts and then hyper extensions, those exercises are probably better for the glutes than squats are. So so I think that not so much good mornings, but I think hip thrusts are good for targeting the glutes specifically better because again like a single leg hip thrust has been shown to have very high EMG data for the glutes, so the glutes fire a lot better with hip thrusts, and because it's a safer exercise you're allowed to overload it a lot better. It doesn't have as much technique intricacies as like a squat or a deadlift does. Squats, I mean, if you go nuts with it you can hurt your back. Same thing with the deadlift, you can hurt your back. With the squat, a lot of people squats look like shit. Depending on how you're built, you might not be able to do a good range of motion squat. Whereas a hip thrust, you can pretty much everyone can do a good range of motion with the hip thrust, and you're able to overload the hip thrust really well. So I think that it has a good place in targeting the glutes better and overloading the glutes, unlike the deadlift and the squat. So it's a better targeting, more focus on the glutes, and you can overload safer and better. Not so much for a good morning though. A good morning is essentially the same thing as like an RDL, except because the bar is higher on your back, there's a longer moment arm, so it's harder in the sense that way. It's like almost like you can't overload it as much. So I'm not good mornings are they could be done fine despite what some people say they can, but I'm not a big fan of them. I think there are much better alternatives, and I think that it's kind of like a waste of a slot that you have for exercise because you only have so many slots for exercise. You can't do unlimited amount of exercises. You only have so much time. You can only recover so much better. So I really think a good morning should take in one of those slots. I personally don't believe so. But hip thrust, amazing, amazing. So yeah, so if you have weak glutes and you feel like they're not firing in a deadlift or a squat, add in hip thrust. If you want to get better hypertrophy in your glutes, add in a hip thrust. And when you have hypertrophy glutes, bigger muscle fibers, when all else is equal, if you're more jacked, you're going to be able to push more weight. So if your glutes are bigger because you're doing hip thrusts, which are very good at developing the glutes, you're going to do better on the squat and deadlift by far. Yeah, actually, I was doing glute bridges, which is just like a hip thrust, except your back's on the ground. It's not on like a bench. For a while, but I wasn't really prioritizing hip thrust as high as I was in the past. Like in the past, I wasn't prioritizing them that well. So maybe in the last year, year and a half, I've put them a little higher. I put them higher priority. So I don't like. I don't. It's not like I ignored them before. I just didn't put them, as high up. So I kind of I kind of just put them. I focused on them a little bit more, and it's helped me immensely. Again, it's more of a correlation than a causation because I didn't, control all variables. But I mean that could be a factor in getting, my deadlift to where it's at, and all my other lifts, my lower body lifts. So I like it. Why are you having problems in your deadlift and squat, Kenneth, or is it just a question you had? There's very few black and whites in fitness, which is good, but it's also bad. It's good and bad because it can confuse some people.
I was all ready to sit here and talk to you about welterweight picture verbal conference.
Damn, it's hot over here where I'm at. I don't know why. I can feel like it's already getting hotter. Can I say just a question? Good points on good mornings and hip thrust. What would prefer for building the quads? Barbell hack squats or front squats? What do you think about that?
A lot of guys want
That's kind of hard because the main, if you can do a front squat well, it just depends on how good you can do a front squat and how good you can do a front squat and how much you can overload it. In my opinion, and this just might be my powerlifter bias is I'm always gonna go for a barbell movement if I can do it well. The problem with the front squat is most people underestimate like how technical it is. It's not that technical. It's not like a snatch or something. Like Olympic lifts. But I think that if you're a if you can do a front squat well and you have a good technique and you're able to overload it, I will always pick a front squat. Um, but if you're someone who feels like too taxed, like let's just say you're already doing a back squat on another day, and you already have a lot of barbell movements you're doing, a hack squat might be good. And it depends. I don't know what like I have to point this out because I don't know what you mean by hack squat. I have a hack squat machine at my gym. If you're talking about the hack squat machine, that's what I'm referring to. Some people talk about hack squats like they have like with a barbell and they have the barbell behind their back and they're doing a squat like that. I've I don't know of hack squats like that. I've never heard anyone really talk about it like that. I had one person refer to hack squats in that way. So if you're talking about the machine, then I would say that a hack squat machine. I think machines are good for hypertrophy. People always kind of look down on machines, which that's not good. Machines are good for hypertrophy because they take a lot of the focus off of you having to balance and focus on technique so much. Machines move in oh, barbell hack squat. Okay. Then I would say front squat. I would say front squat. If you're talking a barbell hack squat, I would say front squat because I think that there's gonna be, and also and that's just my opinion. If you feel, I would go with whatever you feel more comfortable with, but I would personally say a barbell front squat. I think that there's gonna be certain limiting factors with um a barbell hack squat. I mean, you could use wraps if grip's an issue. I just think that's an odd angle. I mean, front squats can be uncomfortable depending on what rack position you have. If you use like a crossed arms, or if you use this front rack position right here, most bodybuilders just have a crossed arms position. But yeah, I personally would say front squat. Technically, the moment arm might be a little bit longer on a barbell hack squat since the barbell's further from your knee joint. If you look at it from the side during a barbell hack squat, the bar is further from your knee than a front squat is. But I just think that a front squat, if you get good at it, if you got good at both, a front squat probably to be easier to overload in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah, the hack squat just seems like it'd be kind of weird, a weird position. I mean, I've seen it a couple times. I just don't. I don't know. I've never seen anyone do that shit heavy. So yeah, I would pick a barbell front squat. I don't do front squats. They're amazing exercise. I don't do them because there's just it's uncomfortable for one, and two, like it's just you have to do a lot of practice with them. Like one, it's kind of hard because I don't have like one thing I always got confused. Kenneth, maybe you can help me on this. Is I have a knee injury, so unless there's a mirror in front of me, even with a mirror, it's kind of hard. I can't. If the barbell's right here and I try to look down, obviously I can't look down because the bar is gonna fall. But I've never been able to get my feet even if I don't look. Like with the back squat, the bar's on my back, so I can look down, get my feet even, set up, brace, and then go into the squat. But if I'm doing a barbell front squat, I don't know how to know if my feet are even. And trust me, I cannot go by feel. If I go by feel, my feet will be like staggered, like half a foot or something. So if there's a mirror in front of me, I can look at the mirror to look at my feet, but it's still, I don't know, it's kind of weird. So that's another reason why I don't do front squats, because I have a knee injury. I had a surgery on it, so it kind of makes my left side feel a little off, you know. Sometimes I'll be like, if I were to close my eyes and be like, okay, this feels even, my feet feel even. I look down and they're like half a foot off. I'm like, well, all right, I guess I can't go by feel. And I know that because when I used to do bench press, my friend told me one day, he was like, "Hey, your feet are they're not even, they're staggered." And I was bench pressing, and I was like, "Wait, what? Really?" And I looked up, my feet were like a foot off, like in a staggered position when I was doing the bench. And like I would sit there and say, "Okay, let me try to move them back. All right, this feels okay." I would sit up, I would not move my feet. I'd sit up and I'd look at my feet, and they would still be not even. So now when I set up for bench, I stand up, I set my feet first, and I'm looking at them, and then I lay down in the bench, so I know they're even. Um, so yeah, I don't know. My knee injury kind of messes it up. So I don't know how you set up for it, Kenneth. But yeah, that's one thing that also bothers me about front squats personally. Again, I think they're an amazing exercise. I just, yeah, they're kind of like lunges. I also don't like lunges, man. They're a great exercise. I just prefer not to do them. You said I switched from back squat to front squat due to pain in my elbow from time to time. Okay. I usually mix between front and hack squats, but sometimes I get a little pain on my left knee when I front squat. Okay. That's one thing you also have to take into account is pain. How's it going, Alicia, with the lifting? Good? I see your posts and stuff. You're keeping up with it. That's perfect. When it's gonna hurt, and trust me, don't have the fear that you're gonna get too bulky. Don't have that fear at all. You should feel sore. But Kenneth, yeah, that's an issue with the front squat. I mean, with the back squat, because most people, when you have the bar on your back, most people lack that external rotation mobility to get their hand behind the bar. And because they have to get their hand behind the bar, regardless if they have the mobility or not, because their shoulder's not going to give, there has to be some give somewhere, and that give starts in the elbow. So yeah, that used to happen to me all the time. But what I did was I focused on external rotation mobility, so it feels easier. And a very simple fix for that too, for back squat, is to go wider on your grip. If you go wider on your grip, it does wonders. Because think about it, the wider you go, the more internally rotated you can be. Versus external rotation, you're not really internally rotated that much. More like a neutral position, and it'll help. Um, Making sure no one's trying to fucking tow my car. But But yeah, so if you just go wider, Kenneth, on a back squat, it might help. But if you've tried all that, then yeah, that's probably gonna be an issue. But I used to have it too. I used to have the same issue. How long have you been working out though, Alicia? Have you been doing good? Have you missed workouts, or have you just been going to it? And I see your post the other day. Like that's a good way to do it. Sometimes you're dreading the workout. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to do this shit. But if you just do it, it's not as bad as you think. It's not nearly as bad. Yep, try wider grip next time on back squats. Yep, maybe that'll help. Wider grip. And I don't know if you do thumb around or if you do thumb over. I do thumb over. That helps too. I don't do thumb around. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I do thumb over. So thumb over, wider grip. Um, Maybe work on some external rotational mobility. Um, and then also too, maybe try a little bit higher bar position of a back squat. So like high bar back squat. If you're doing low bar, like the worst thing you could do for someone who has elbow pain is low bar, thumb over, thumb around, really narrow grip. Now that might help you get really tight. I actually think that if you're able to do that with no elbow pain, that's actually a really good position because you're able to get really tight. And obviously you want to get tight, but most people can't do that due to range of motion in their shoulder. So doing the opposite of that, a little higher bar, a little bit wider grip. I almost get to the point where I'm almost touching the plate, almost, because it just feels better for me that way. All right, that's good. Said I haven't been doing it every day, but staying somewhat consistent. Yesterday I skipped Pilates. Today my spin class got canceled, so I'm just going to do a few little exercises tonight. Pilates tomorrow and workout Friday. Just keep up with it. It's all about consistency. Remember, when you feel like trying to skip or quit, tell yourself, what are you gonna do then? If you skip it, I mean, if you go, it's gonna be over before you know it. You know. And then how's your nutrition going? Because that's the main thing. You know. Nutrition is the main thing. Exercise is not gonna get you to lose weight or whatever your goal is. Exercise will help you get stronger. It'll help you gain muscle, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Most women, when they hear gain muscle, they think bad shit. I mean, it'll help you look good. So look good, get stronger. But if you're not eating right, you're not going to lose weight. It is plain and simple. I'm working out 6 times a week. I box twice a week. I do core 5 times a week, and I've done nothing but gain weight in the past 3 months. Now I'm trying to gain weight, which is good, so that's a good sign. I'm trying to gain weight, but I'm doing all that, and I've been gaining weight. Why? Because I'm eating a fuck ton. Do you feel like the weekends are screwing you up, or are you still seeing the results you want to see, or what? Because depending on how much you're messing up on the weekends, you can ruin a week on a weekend. Trust me, it's doable. It's definitely doable to ruin it. I haven't stepped on the scale because I don't want to be disappointed. And that actually is a good tactic. Uh, Ernesto Alicia does. Um, but that's actually a good tactic because if you constantly step on a scale, you're not going to see results all the time because success isn't linear. And if you're constantly stepping on a scale, depending on who you are, you might step on the scale and be disappointed. But at the same time, if you never step on the scale, you're not gonna know if what you're doing is working or not. You know. And be sure to step on the scale at a good time. Don't step on the scale at night with your phone in your hand, with all your clothes on, after 3 or 4 meals. Like if you do that, that's probably gonna be the heaviest you are throughout a day. Who's there? Wait, who? Damn, bro. I don't think I could have been more disappointed with that. I was thinking of something like, okay, how can Wei be a dirty joke? How can it be embarrassing? Wei who? What is that? Did he just get me really bad? Damn, man. You need to drop all your fitness shit and go to comedy school. Ernesto, I'm sorry, bro. What are you doing though on the weekends, Alicia? Is it like, uh, are you guys going out to eat? Tell him I said what's up. Is it like you guys go to Bartlesville or what are you guys doing? Is he helping you? Is he holding you accountable too or what? So let me try to redeem myself. Alicia, tell him I said I'm daddy. All right, Ernesto. You have one more chance, or to the chopping block you go. We're gonna go. What is it? Old school style. Old back with the castles and shit. Put you on the guillotine. Who's there? Anita who? I need a nap. All right, that's better. I think it's a couple points better. I need a nap too. Actually, I slept really well last night. Um, Alicia, that's weird because it's coming from your profile, but it's Starlight. It's like I can't. I'm seeing your profile. I'm Big Daddy. Like, you see everyone in the chat. Alicia, a girl, she's going nuts. She's going nuts, and she thinks she's a guy. I mean, it's There's those internet wackos for you. See, even Ernesto said it. Ernesto doesn't know everything, so this is turning to a really weird. Alicia is a guy. Big Daddy, I'm the mom. What? Which means that I'm technically my own grandma. Wait, would that be grandma? Or would that be great aunt? I don't fucking know anymore. Ernesto, you're throwing this shit all out of whack, man. Hey, Alicia, have you and Starlight been keeping up with Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman talking shit? You guys should subscribe to ESPN MMA. They always keep up to date with shit. He's delusional. Tell him I would say come to Cali and say that to my face, but we all know if he comes to Cali, he's gonna drive back in like 2 days anyways. But no, I'm just kidding. He said low blow, low blow. What up? We have lurkers coming in. He can't stand all the gay vegans, but he goes to the what is it? The Lil Nas X fucking shit pushed in cowboys in the fucking Midwest. He rides horses all day. he rides horse. He rides horses while listening to Old Town Road. And that's just said on my weekend the weird fox creature drags me away from my bed for make her a Nutella sandwich. Are you talking about your girl, man? You're talking about your girl. She's about to smack you, bro. You're calling her a weird fox creature? And Alicia, why don't you yeah, why don't you prepare before you smoke? Why don't you like put shit away or lock it up? Like get a lock and lock it. So he does ride horses while listening to Old Town Road. He probably knows all the lyrics too. What do you have, like sleep paralysis, Ernesto? Is that what you're talking about? Sleep paralysis, bro? I used to have that shit. I hate it. Or are you just trying to be like gothic edgy? It sounds like something edgy 12-year-old middle schooler would say to come off as like emotional and stuff. No, the weird demonic creature that sits in the corner of my room that says she will haunt my dreams. You get it? So it's either that route or you're just completely batshit insane. Or you're having sleep paralysis. I know some people will say that when they have sleep paralysis they'll see shit. I never did though. It was weird. Like I knew that I'm like in sleep paralysis because I'm trying to move and shit and I can't fucking move. I'm just like We'll just hide the key or something. Give the key to Starlight and tell him that you can't. Tell him not to give it to you or something. I heard a good like tip. They say if it's in the house, you're gonna eat it. So like you should just probably not even have that shit in the house. That's scary, Ernesto. It's not. I fucking hate it. I don't. Some people say they see shit. That would be even worse. I don't see anything. I just don't like the fact that I can't move. I like my body locks up and I can't move. And I'm trying everything I can to move and I can't do it. Alicia, there's a certain age where you have to stop him from singing that song. It might be kind of cute right now because he's not that old, but like if he keeps singing that past a certain age, he's probably gonna get picked on. I mean, what if he's like 16 with like assless chaps, like riding around singing that song and shit? Like, you don't think that's he's gonna get picked on for that? You gotta save him now. Yeah, Ernesto, I used to mainly get it when I used to drink more than I should. When I had a drinking problem, I used to get it all the time. I like woke up one day and I was like, why do I feel like I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I can't move? And I ended up looking it up, like not moving, and then sleep paralysis popped up, and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, I hate it. Now I just have like bad dreams sometimes, but that's pretty much it. You took some gummies and they gave you horrible dreams. Yeah, I can't smoke anymore. So yeah, but I could see. I don't even think I got dreams when I used to smoke. And I just said I can't tell if it was true because I did watch a video about sleep paralysis memes and maybe it was just a mental thing. Um, I don't know. You'll know if it's real. Like at least me, some people say that like when they have sleep paralysis, they're like halfway in their dream. They're like halfway in their dream, halfway not, which is why they see demons and shit. Because they're not, they're like part dreaming, but they feel kind of awake. Me, I feel pretty much almost all the way awake, and I just can't move my body. I feel like imagine being paralyzed. It's exactly what you think it feels like. You're trying to move, but you can't move. And I just keep trying, and I keep trying, and I try not to freak out, and then eventually I'm able to move. Um, so yeah, so you'll know if you have it. If you don't think you did, you probably didn't. Alicia said, "What do you think about bone broth smoothies?" I think they're fucking stupid. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't. They don't do shit. You're probably just gonna kill yourself faster that way. Why not just drink a regular fruit smoothie? That'd probably be way better. Yeah, way better, bro. Who's lurking in the chat? Say hi, or I'm gonna show up at your doorstep. I'll take your Xbox and I'll smash it. And if you don't have an Xbox, I'll take your computer and I'll smash it. Is that Rhinor? Rhinor, are you hovering? Is that you? It says there's 5 viewers, so there better be 5 people talking. But yeah, don't do bone broth smoothies. Don't do that. I will definitely not co-sign that. Just don't get sucked into the new fads. There's always going to be a new fad. Something. Well, then I'll smash your PlayStation, Ernesto. And if that doesn't work, then I'll pop your tires to your car. He was asking because someone said it would help with his joints. Nah, They're bullshitting him. Just have an overall healthy diet full of vegetables and fruit, and be at a healthy weight and exercise regularly. If you haven't done that, you can't go to anything else. If you start trying to jump the line of fixes, you jump the line. Ernesto's probably right, I'm not gonna lie. You probably would get more help by eating a jar of Nutella. Yeah. That's a weird thing to do, but I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe a Nutella would fuck you up because if you kept eating a jar of Nutella, you'd probably end up with diabetes, right? Isn't Nutella full of sugar? But I mean, that's a fair statement. What supplements do I use? I use creatine, protein powder, and that's it. That's all I use. And if I were to use anything else, it would be citrulline malate and beta alanine. That's it. If I were to use anything else, but I don't. So those are the only. I don't use BCAAs. So the only two I use is protein powder and creatine. That's it. I think most supplements they don't do shit. There's no evidence that supports their use at all. I haven't. I don't even know what that is. Tried almond milk? Why don't you try soy milk or oat milk? Soy milk or oat milk. Why do you like regular milk's disgusting? That shit's full of fucking pus and all types of other shit. Fucking gross. I can't even. I don't drink almond milk though. It's alright. I think it's alright, but I don't drink. I drink soy milk. I don't even know who that is, but I'll do it if you guys get 10 likes. I'll box him. Nah, I haven't tried that though. Yeah, you like the taste of it, but you don't know what's in it. The first thing I looked up of glucosamine is saying that it has little evidence of its effect for joint health. So that was the first thing I looked up. You like vitamin D milk? Yeah, no, that shit's nasty. Nasty. Absolutely disgusting. I can't do it anymore. Gross. Is that an actual diet, Ernesto, or are you just fucking with me? Apparently, it's an actual thing. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. It can. Dairy can. But I think the potato diet's stupid. I would not only eat potatoes. Anyone who has any success on the potato diet, it's because it is you're you're cutting calories. Okay, you're in a caloric deficit. But potatoes don't have all the nutrients you need. I mean, I would definitely not do that. It's like going on a McDonald's diet. That guy lost weight on a McDonald's diet because he's just in a caloric deficit. You can still be unhealthy and skinny. And Kenneth said, who do you think is the strongest man? It's Hafthor by far. Martin Lisius is really good with technique. I think he's one of the most technical strongmen out, but he just does not have that raw brute strength that Hafthor has. Hafthor is, I'm pretty sure he's bigger than him in every sense of the word, and Hafthor is just stronger. I mean, the guy's a fucking freak. He's just too fucking strong, way too strong. And he would have won last year had he not got injured. So yeah, Ernesto, so I wouldn't do it. Calories, Alicia, calories. Carbs are just a fuel source. Carbs are not bad in any sort of way. Now, if you're eating the wrong types of carbs, like if you're drinking sodas and that type of and eating ice cream, yeah, you could have health issues like again diabetes, type 2 diabetes down the line if you continuously do that. But you should watch calories if you're trying to lose weight. No, carbs are just an anaerobic fuel source. So carbs store as glycogen in muscle tissue, and that's the glycolysis is the fuel pathway or the fuel pathway that we use for like lifting and activities like that. What is my take on intermittent fasting? I don't think there's any magic to intermittent fasting. I have not tried it, but I do think that intermittent fasting can be good, not because again there's nothing magical about it, but because it does help people restrict calories. So, yeah, if doing intermittent fasting, limiting the amount of time you can eat food helps you eat less food, that's fine. That's good. But if you're able to limit the amount of food you eat without intermittent fasting, then I don't think intermittent fasting is special. But for some people, when they're given the whole day to eat, they can't control what they eat. So with intermittent fasting, if you're given a window, okay, well, also too, I think the intermittent fasting, if you're given an 8-hour window and you eat 4,000 calories in that 8-hour window, you're not going to lose weight. I mean, obviously, depending on if your TDEE is below 4,000 or not. So again, it's about whether it's calorie management. You need to be in a caloric deficit. But I think that for a lot of people, it could work. Yeah, it's better than keto. Ernesto said, "What loses weight faster, weightlifting or cardio?" Again, being in a caloric deficit loses weight faster. So you can be in a caloric deficit just by limiting how many calories you eat. But in regards to caloric expenditure, cardio wins by without a doubt. You can burn a lot more calories during cardio than with weightlifting. At the same time, though, I think weightlifting is just how do I say? A lot of people want to look good, but they also want to have a better body composition. So I think that for a better body composition, obviously lifting is better. But if you're just strictly talking caloric expenditure, cardio is going to win no matter what. So if you do a good amount of cardio and you're watching what you eat, you're going to lose a lot of weight, a ton of weight. So yeah, people focus way too much on macros like proteins, carbs, and fats. They focus way too much on that. The only macro that I don't even focus on, but the only macro that I guess you could say I keep my eye on is protein. That's it. Fats and carbs, I don't even count them. I just eat food and eat food, and I try not to eat unhealthy. So I don't eat ice cream every single day. I don't drink sodas. I don't drink sodas all the time. If you're trying to lose weight, you need to eat less calories than you're expending. So if you're expending with your resting metabolic rate, with your thermogenic effective food, with your physical activity, with your exercise, with all of these things, if you're burning 2,500 calories a day, you need to eat less than that to lose weight. You need to eat more than that to gain weight. So if 2,500 calories is your total daily energy expenditure, and you're eating 2,100 calories consistently, you're going to lose weight. by far. You're going to lose weight. Now, a good way to raise your TDEE, how many calories you burn in a day, is through exercise. That's a good way to do that, so to raise that. And a good way to lower the calories you take in is by watching what you eat. But if you're expending, let's just say you work out a ton, like I do, I used this example earlier, my TDEE is probably like 3,100 calories, somewhere around there. But I'm eating probably about 3,500 calories to 4,000 calories. So even though I work out a fuck ton and I do boxing twice a week and I'm doing core all the time, I'm gaining weight, which is what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to gain weight because I want to get stronger, but I'm gaining weight because I'm eating above my TDEE. So you can't just try to lose weight by working out a lot. That's not how it works. You have to, it's like an equation, a simple equation. How many calories are you taking in? How much calories are you expending? And you can expend calories by lots of different means. Through regular physical activity, walking outside, playing volleyball, playing football, going to the gym and working out, all these types of stuff. So, yeah, people try to always manipulate macros. If you're low carbs but you're high in calories, it doesn't matter that you're low in carbs. If anything, you'll probably feel like shit and your workouts will be worse if you're low in carbs. And then you'll still gain weight on top of that because you're eating a ton of calories. So yeah, macros, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't, the only macro I would keep an eye on is protein, because protein is important obviously for building muscle, and protein it also has the highest thermogenic effect. So it takes calories to break down food, and of the macronutrients, protein takes the most calories to break down. Lisa said, I have been hungry today, yet so I've only had 15 calories. Well, don't make sure to eat, you know, you gotta be healthy. If you don't, obviously, if you don't eat, that's not good. So, yeah, I don't recommend zero carbs. But be careful, Alicia. Don't go from eating nothing to eating a lot because you smoke. That's not good. I'm not a big fan of Michael Ahern though, Kenneth, at all. I mean, I just because I'm not a big fan of him, I agree with that statement. I don't think you should never go zero carbs either. Now again, it also depends too. Like if you're a bodybuilder, that might be different. I'm not versed in preparing a bodybuilder for getting on a stage. But I'm talking about for your average lifter. I don't. There's never a reason to go zero carbs ever. I don't for a non-athlete, not bodybuilder, a lifter. I cannot see a need to go zero carbs. Now there may be a want, but I can't see any good reason. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Michael Hearn. I think that he lies too much. And he did like a video with who was it, Larry Wheels and Jay Cutler. Yeah, yeah, that too. He's full on natty. Yeah, yeah. He could take that natty claim and shove it up his ass. I don't. And that video he did with Jay Cutler and Larry Willis, I want to be like, shut the fuck up, Mike. Just shut up. Nobody wants to hear your punk ass talk the entire time. You're not gonna show Jay Cutler tips on triceps. He has such an insecurity inside him. It's fucking reeking from him. I mean, for someone who looks like he does, he's like the most beta person I've ever heard talk. I don't even really like that word. It's kind of a little corny, but he's beta as fuck. For someone who has all the championships, I mean, goddamn, I've never seen someone so insecure. No, he was giving Jay Cutler advice on benching, but also on triceps. They went to arms, and he was like telling them how to do it a certain way. It's like, really, Mike? You have look. I agree that you could have a degree in something and know a lot. You could have an experience and know a lot. Which one does he have over Jay? He doesn't have a degree in exercise science or anything above Jay. He doesn't have experience above Jay. So what the fuck is he trying to tell Jay anything for? I think Jay can learn a lot from people who aren't as. You can't just put him as an authority that knows everything. Like Jay's more of a practical guy. He reads bodybuilding books. He even said that he doesn't read biomechanics books and things like that. Alicia said, so if we're going to a Mexican restaurant to eat, if I order like a steak and shrimp, is that better than getting a big ass burrito with rice and beans? Yes, 100%, 100%. You nailed it on the head. If you're talking calories, that big ass burrito is gonna be a fuck ton of calories, especially with the sour cream and cheese. The calories, they have a lot of fat. Okay, fat is 9 calories per gram, per 1 gram, 9 calories. Whereas carbs and proteins on average are 4 calories per gram. So for one and 9 for 1. So fat, if you're eating a lot of fatty foods, that's gonna help rack up the calories easy, which you don't want to do. So that's exactly, you're getting it right. Now you don't want to. You also have to think of in regards to health. You couldn't be losing weight but getting worse health. Like if you're eating red meat all the time, you might have other issues at hand. So be careful with the foods that you're eating in regards to eating less. But you're right, Kenneth. He's a nice guy. I like him a lot. Again, I don't agree with him on everything, and he's big on practical. I'm big on like science and practical. You have to put practitioner, combine it with science. You need both. But I think he's a great guy, and like hearing Mike talk to him, I mean, I was just like, bro, go to the back and suck your own dick real quick, please. Give them all the fucking second. I mean, he probably felt so intimidated. You have Mr. Four-time Mr. Olympia next to him, so Jay has always looked better than him, and then you have Larry Wheels right here, which, I mean, Michael Hearn tries to be Mr. Power Builder. I mean, so what? Larry Wheels is an actual power lifter with fucking records, and then you have Jay right here, who again, who is Mr. Olympia. So I mean, he probably felt like fucking this big and needed to just man. I don't like Michael Hearn at all. Isn't Adrian gonna be salty every year? I mean, his team is the Raiders, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't. Adrian's probably gonna be sitting there for a while. When is the Super Bowl? Alicia, you're probably gonna be you're probably gonna be crying if the Chiefs lose. February. Oh shit. Yeah, you're gonna be crying, Alicia. What do you mean? You're just glad you made it? Don't give me that bullshit. That's the worst type of pain. I'd rather be eighth than second. Second is horrible. It's like you got right there and you didn't make it. Second stings the most. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cut it with the positive. You want to stomp them, don't lie. You want to destroy them. You want the first place. You want to be able to go online and talk all that shit. But if you lose, we have a bright future. You know, we played our hearts out. But if you win, it's fuck you guys. I told you they were gonna win. All these punk ass teams thought they were gonna beat us. You know that's how you're gonna be. Yeah, see? Damn, it's one game too. That's what I always thought was weird about football. They got one game. You don't get like it's not a series. So I mean, you could anyone. It's really not even about who's the best team. It's about who's better on that day. When you have like a series of games, then it's kind of more about who's the better team. You know. So you got one game to play good. There's no fuck ups, no reruns, no retakes. No, I know they have playoffs. I know. What I'm trying to say is that when you're playing a team against that team, even in the playoffs, you have one game. Like when you meet up with someone in the playoffs, you don't have like a series of games. You're not playing them over and over. I know that would make the season way too long, but ideally, if you really wanted to see who the best team was, you would have them run like a series of five. Then whoever got the best of five moves to the next person. Then whoever wins that best of five moves to the next person. Then whoever wins the next best of five moves to the next person. Because think about it, when you play multiple games, you're kind of really seeing who the better person is. If you play one game against a team and then you're out, one game out, you could just have a bad game. But like, I mean, it is what it is. That's not how football works. So yeah, that's another point we have to. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not how it is. You're right. That's what I'm saying is not practical. Like baseball, they're not really hitting each other. I mean, careers would be like fucking 2 years long if they did what I was talking about. So yeah, that's definitely a factor to take in. When's the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl, or have they ever? Mm-hmm. 1995. Okay. Uh-oh. Huh. When's the last time the Chiefs won? Let me see. 50 years? Oh shit. They won in 1995. You guys are fucked. I'm sorry, Alicia. Go 49ers. Woo! No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh damn. Oh yeah, 1969. Holy shit. 79, 89. Oh yeah, you're right. 50 years. Well, I'm sorry, Alicia. 49ers seem like they're gonna get it. No, I'm just kidding. I can't. You can't tell that based off that. Man, that would suck. I just know that when I have a fighter, when I'm watching a fighter and they lose, that I want to lose, that I want to win. I know, huh? That's the hard part. It's like you want to get your hopes up, like you want to be like we're gonna win, but you also don't want to get your hopes up. You don't want to be sitting there, you know, getting too happy because then you're just gonna get crushed that much harder. But that's that's the price you pay for getting in love with the team. Hey, Alicia, what did you? I mean, obviously, it's not really to think nothing to think about it. But what did you? What did you and Starlight do when you heard about the Kobe Bryant news? Alex asked, "Hi, bro, back again. Got another MMA question for you, man. Do you believe Cormier versus Stipe 3 should happen?" Oh man, this is you always hit me with the hard questions. You're a good MMA fan, I can tell that. Should that's a funny question. Should happen. Look, I would say yes because Cormier has a knockout, Stipe has a knockout. The third fight is gonna sell. I feel like Cormier, he's done a lot for the company. He's fought, John Jones, and I believe John Jones was cheating. Um, he's put himself on the line so much. But Stipe has a good point because Cormier wants the rematch immediately, like now, and apparently there's talks from Stipe's team about him saying that he doesn't want to fight Cormier right now or immediately. And then it keeps going back and forth because Cormier did fight someone before he did the rematch with Stipe, and Stipe had to fucking kick, scream, and basically do everything he could to get the rematch. So I think that it should happen, but I can't really argue with Stipe if Stipe wants to make Cormier wait. Because again, I don't know. Maybe it's a taste of his own medicine. But Cormier was making some good points on that. I can't remember the points that he made. He was saying that I think one of them was injured or it's already been a while. So yeah, I think it should happen. Yes, I just don't know when, and if Stipe doesn't give him the rematch, I would be a little pissed if he just said no, I'm not doing it at all. But if he said no, I'm gonna make you wait a little bit. Let me fight one person, and then you'll get the next one. I can't really argue that. What about you? Do you think it should happen? I mean, because it kind of makes sense. They're 1-1 right now. They're going into the third fight, so and they both have knockouts. And Cormier was doing really good in that fight before he won, before Stipe won. What sucks is I really wanted that if Cormier won that last one. I was that's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought Cormier was gonna win. I kinda had the feeling that I know the heavyweights hit hard, but I thought Stipe's chin. I don't look. It's weird. I don't think Stipe has a glass chin. I just don't think his chin is the strongest. I mean, it feels like when he gets hit, he just goes down. And someone could say, well, that happens with all the heavyweights. Not really. Cormier has a pretty good chin. I mean, he has a pretty good chin. Yeah, it was sad, Alicia. It was sad. I was shocked about the whole thing. But I wanted if Cormier won against Stipe in their last fight, I wanted him to fight Jones at heavyweight. That's what I thought would have been perfect. But since he lost, I'm like, damn, does it even make sense anymore? Now Cormier has two losses to two different people. And kind of, I don't know. It's kind of just like, It kind of killed the hype for me a little bit. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just a little bit. I mean, yeah, I would watch it. I'm not gonna lie, Alex. I would watch it, but I would have been more excited had he won against Stipe, and then it would have been like the fight to see who the greatest was. Just think about it. If he beat Stipe and then he fought Jones and beat Jones, you could literally argue that he's the greatest of all time ever. I mean, he's beat the GOAT. Now he's beat the heavyweight GOAT. Some consider the heavyweight GOAT, which is Stipe. And he would only had one loss or two losses, which he won back. It is annoying. It is annoying. I'm not gonna lie, you're right. It's like just fucking do it already, John. But honestly, which I hate to say this because I'm not a huge fan of him, like personally, like his personality. But I honestly think he would do good at heavyweight. I really think he would. I really think he would. I don't think that. I think he would just out wrestle Stipe. I know Stipe's wrestling is good. I think he would. I don't think he would want to stand with Stipe. I think he could out wrestle Stipe. If he can out wrestle Cormier, he can out wrestle Stipe easy. Um, but I don't. I mean, what else is going on at heavyweight? I mean, Francis. But Francis said that I don't. I mean, if Francis and Ngannou fought him, I mean, he would wrestle him. John would wrestle him because if Stipe could wrestle him, John could wrestle him. I mean, literally, John could do the rock paper scissors GSP tactic against anybody. He could rock paper scissors them. If they beat me in stand up, I'll wrestle them. I mean, if they could wrestle me, then I'll strike them. Which I don't know if anyone in the heavyweight besides Daniel has the best wrestling stats out of anyone in the heavyweight, and John can hold himself against Stipe. I think John. I mean, I think John was the only one who has taken Cormier down, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, there's not like, I mean, what does someone have over John at heavyweight? John's not small, not small. I mean, he would have no issue with cutting then. I mean, he'd probably be way stronger. I mean, I just again, and then this is me not being biased. I don't really like John. I mean, I could see Stipe knocking him out, but I mean, would John really let that happen? Uh, I don't think so. So I don't know. I think you're right. I think he should go up because I think he would actually do good. But I mean, if he just wants to stay down and destroy the light heavyweights, I mean, I don't know. He has the Reyes fight coming up, so we'll see how he does there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot going on right now in MMA. Rhinor, you're too late, man. I was asking for you earlier. Jeez, man, I'm a little offended. You didn't come in earlier. Like I said, I still got Jones on that fight though. But who you got out of Adesanya and Romero? So happy Romero got another title chance. I remember when he killed I fucking. All right, you guys. I gotta end my stream. I'll be right back. Probably on Friday. Thanks, Alex, for the questions. I have to answer that real quick. I have Adesanya, but he could get knocked out. I mean, his chin is a little not suspect, but I mean, he can get knocked out. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. I gotta go take care of some stuff. Thank you guys. I will see you guys probably Friday. So thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Rhinor. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you, everyone who asked me questions. I appreciate it. But I will see you guys on Friday and then an upload of a video tomorrow. So peace.